All right, Principal Henning here. Principal Henning here. We are having a new dismissal routine that it's going to take some education. It's going to take you to watch this. It's going to take you asking questions if you need to. Hopefully, I'm going to explain it as best I can, as clearly as I can here. And I hope after you watch this that you kind of see that this has been thought through. But I guess maybe you're wondering, why are we changing our dismissal routine? It became clear to me last year, being my first year, that any accreditation team is going to come out and say, and I do serve on some of those, that we need to make sure our parking lot is safer, particularly at dismissal. We had kind of students going in a lot of different directions, running through the parking lot, things like that. And I did the best I could to try to make sure that I was there, stopping people, directing cars, things like that. But, just kind of, throughout last year, just thinking that there's a better way to do this, a safer way to do this. And that's one of the reasons. So one of the reasons that we think this is going to be safer than the previous one. We also think that, sometimes we were out there till like 3:25. Dismissing kids. We get out at 3:05. We think that by doing it this way, that we'll be able to dismiss families quicker after school. And this, we're going to do like a loop system, and I'll show you a diagram in a second, okay? But this is a pretty common way to dismiss students at other schools, and particularly schools that I've been at as well. And when everybody is comfortable with it, when everybody kind of follows the rules, everybody kind of follows the path, it works really well. But it takes everybody, doing that. So make sure you're watching this video maybe a few times, asking questions. You'll have opportunities at cleaning tonight, at orientation on Monday, and my door is always open. So also, the nice thing about this is the kids and the teachers are going to be out at the end of the day. And it's going to allow for the faculty to be more visible, as this allows them to be outside for dismissal, as opposed to, you didn't see the teachers at after school dismissal in the past, not because they're shy, but because they were supervising students in their classroom and they couldn't leave. So this is going to be nice because you'll be able to see all the teachers and maybe do some interacting with them as well. So I guess that's the why. And by the way, so we have 3K and 4K half-day preschool. Everybody, if you do half day, you'll be dismissed at 11:30, and door 18 is where you'll be dismissed. And that leads out to Division Street, okay? But that's where dismissal will happen for the half dayers. But so this is for the full dayers, preschool, and then K to 8. All right, here it is. We already have lines on the parking lot, and they are orange to reflect the diagram that you see here. So in the past, we've had cones right here, along here, right? And then at about 2:45, I'll come out, ish, and I'll come out and I'll remove the cones, and then cars can start. In the past, cars just kind of parked in these spots, right? But what we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to enter, once the cones are done, or down, we're going to ask you to enter here and follow the line. So I have like tires on either side of the dash line. You're going to come over here, and then you're going to make a turn, and you're going to come over here. All right, and then we're going to have you turn again, and then pull into 3 loading zones. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and we'll have a cone right here so you know where to pull up to. So what we are going to do is we'll have so preschoolers in this parking stall. We'll have all the kindergartners in this parking stall. We'll have first and second here, third and fourth here, 5 and 6 here, 7 and 8 here. And then what we're going to do is, whoever vehicle this is, we're going to take the kiddos from wherever they are, load them into the car on the left side. If somebody does need to go into the right side or the passenger side, we will, make sure that we have somebody out there, making sure no cars are coming, over here. So we're loading 1, 2, 3 at a time. We, liability-wise, we cannot buckle kids. So either the kids are going to need to buckle themselves, or you're going to need to buckle them. So we will load them up, and then once these 3 are loaded up, then they will exit. Okay. Now, if you would like to, go to the playground, we do have families going to the playground on nice days, and you already have that in mind. Or if you want to circumvent the snake, you do have to enter here, but then what we could have you do is pull off to the side, like pull into one of these spots, and either wait for the snake to die down, or there is going to be a walking zone. We're going to try to get lines painted over there. We already have these lines down, but we're working on getting a walking zone kind of painted. So this is the only place you should walk. So if you park here, we don't want you cutting through here, but rather we want you, just walking on the side here. So that'd be the east side of the parking lot to the sidewalk, and then you can grab your kid. And if you want to walk them there, fine. But keep in mind, if you do, it's going to be difficult for you to pull out until the snake is complete. All right. But we also will have, opportunities. Maybe some spots are available on the side here. So if you want to, along, where the church is. So if you want to park there, if there's limited spots, and there might be some spots over at church as well. If you want to walk along the sidewalk, safely gather your child and then enter your vehicle. Keep in mind, if you park over here and are expecting to leave, you're going to have to wait for the snake to die down. Okay, so that's what's going on with that. We do have a few parents I know that have large vehicles, trailers that they're dragging in. It's going to be almost impossible for you to make those turns here. And so those of you who have that, what we're going to ask you to do is we're going to have you enter the snake, make a turn, and then we'll have you pull off to this area right here. And then we'll have staff members out there, and they'll be able to escort your child safely over to here, and then just kind of watch for cars right here, but then you are able to pull out. Okay. If there is an issue with, buckling, and maybe it's, you have a bunch of littles and it's taking too long, we'll be patient with you. We'll all just be patient, and as time goes on, it'll get better. We might allow, if like this car is taken a while, and that's fine, we might have, and again, carefully directed, we might have this car 2, 3 kind of go this way. Again, it'll be safely policed. Please go slow. All right. But, we think that if we follow all these rules, that we can, again, be safer, get folks out of here quicker, and then you get to see our faces out at dismissal as well. We can wave and say hi, things like that. So, again, I'll be around for any questions at like orientation, cleaning tonight. I guess I'll just show the next slide. A couple other things to talk about is that, we cannot buckle students in their seats, like I mentioned before. Either parents must get out or secure their student, or the student must do that. So, if 2 are in the back seat, no car seat, for example, they can crawl into the left side, scooch over, buckle, and then we're good to go. Parking is allowed by the school office if spots are available, like I mentioned. A parent can then walk down the sidewalk, get their student. In order to leave, you'll need to either enter the loop or wait until the cars in the loop had exited, as I mentioned before. Please do not park in the spots on the west side of the lot. So those spots are going to be reserved for large vehicles with trailers. Parking is allowed in the spots by the playground, like I said, and if you want to get your student, you can either walk on the far east side of the lot in the walking zone. Again, we're going to, there are some yellow dash lines, and we're going to try to extend those so that there is a clearly marked walking zone. And then, if you want to take your kid back to the car, play on the playground, well, then we have no issues. The snake should be gone by the time you leave. But if you want to leave right away, you're going to have to wait for the snake to complete, because otherwise you're going to be backing up into the snake. So during early dismissals for athletics, all athletes will be dismissed at door 18 now this year because of this. So typically at early dismissals, they would utilize the parking spaces in the parking lot. It's just so we don't have like cars in the parking lot, waiting, and then with the snakes going on, we're just going to have early dismissal happen at door 18. We do have Lenten services like right after school, and we're talking like 6, 7, 8 Wednesdays. And so, we tried to, so how do we do the snake with the Lenten services? We really didn't have a good way to do that, but it is only like 8 days. So on those days, we are going to revert back to last year's dismissal procedure. For those of you new, last year's dismissal procedure is we'd all park into the parking space. We can ignore the snake on those days. And then Mrs. Lindard or myself would come out, and we'd, on the walkie-talkies, we'd call, this family's here, this family, and then the kids would come out, load in the vehicle. Once the vehicle is loaded, they'd just leave. So we'll revert back to those, and we'll make sure we give you a heads up as far as when that's changing. It's not going to happen until later on, like February, March-ish. Okay. And the students and teachers will stay in the classrooms just like last year. So again, we couldn't find a good way to do the snake and then have all the, the church members, we didn't want to have them participate in the snake. That'd be just kind of like a mess. So, we are just going to go back to, on those 7, 8 days, we are going to go back to our old way of doing things. So just kind of, again, I got a few minutes here on this video yet, so I will take advantage of that. So we enter here, so off Division Street, we enter our parking lot, and then we just simply follow the lines. And again, be patient. As these cars leave, others move up, and I think we'll see that as we get better at buckling quickly, and as we kind of get the gist of this, if you have grandparents that pick up, make sure you give them a heads up to this. Maybe show them this video or send them this video so that they can kind of see what we're doing. So again, we're entering here, following the arrows. So again, the lines are out there, making a turn, and then this car, and this car will be loaded with whatever kids need to go in there. These 3 leave. The next 3 move up. And that's what we're looking to do, again, to make things as safe as possible, safer than last year, and also so that we can have everybody get out safely quicker, and also just to be more visible and present at the end of the school day. So again, it's going to take everyone kind of rolling in the same direction on this and following the rules. Following the orange lines. And again, just being patient with each other, and patient with this process. We'll get better at it as it goes. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Looking forward to the school year.